Good morning, dear students. Today we would be starting a new topic in grammar, which we have already done in our previous classes, that is tenses. But before we revise tenses, let us have a revision of verbs. Now let us revise verbs. There are two main types of verbs, finite verbs and non-finite verbs. Under finite verbs, we have transitive verbs, intransitive verbs, and verbs of incomplete prediction. Under non-finite verbs, we have infinitives, participles, and gerunds. Participles can be classified into past participle and present participle. Now we will have a detailed study about verbs. Verbs are basically categorized into two types, finite verbs and finite verbs. We'll try to understand both the types of verbs with the help of examples. Finite verbs. Under finite verbs, the first type we have is transitive verbs. In transitive verb, a subject and an object are required to complete the action. Example, the patient needs medicine. Here, the subject is patient, the verb is needs, and the object is medicine. That means the action is completed by the object, that is medicine. The next type, intransitive verbs. In intransitive verbs, we do not require an object to complete the action. The action is completed by the subject itself. Example, the child smiled. The action of smiling is completed by the child himself. Here, the subject is child, the verb is smiled. And we do not require object here because the subject itself performs the action. Next, we have verbs of incomplete predication. That means here we require a complement to complete the sentence. The first example, the sky looks cloudy. Here cloudy is an adjective that describes the noun sky. So cloudy here is the complement. Second, he writes neatly. He writes. Neatly here is an adverb which adds more meaning to the action of writing. That how does he write? Neatly. The next one, the house is to let. Now, to let here is an infinitive. Infinitives have two types. One which begin with to before the verb and the other are called as bare infinitives. So here, to let is the infinitive or the complement added to the sentence. Now, let us move on to the non-finite verbs. Under non-finite verbs, children, first we have infinitives. As I told you earlier or mentioned earlier, infinitives are of two types. One which have to before the verb and the others are called as bare infinitives. So here, to forget is an infinitive. Forget is a verb before which we have put the word to. To write, to go. Next, gerund. Gerund are also known as verbal nouns. Writing, swimming, reading. Let us take an example of a sentence. Reading is a good habit. If I ask the question what, I get an answer. What is a good habit? Reading. Next, participles. Participles are also known as verbal adjectives. Participles are of two types, past participle, present participle. If the participle in the past form is stolen, it becomes stealing in the present participle. If the past form is written, it becomes writing. And if it is gone, it becomes going. Moving on further, we have one more category of verbs which are called as primary verbs and auxiliary or modals. Under primary verbs are the verbs which is normally used in tenses and in question tags. The primary verbs are is, am, are, was, were. Next, has, have, had. And the last, do, does, did, which we mostly use in question tags of affirming questions. Next category is of auxiliary or modals. Here we have modals like can, could, shall, should, may, might, will, would. All these, the first column is of the present modals and this is of the past tense of modals. Must, ought, need, dare are some other modals which are generally used. Students, today we studied about verbs, which is the base for tenses. In the next class, we would be studying about present tense and its subtypes. There are 4 subtypes in present tense: simple present tense, present continuous tense, present perfect tense, and present perfect continuous tense. So in the next class, we will study about present tense and its subtypes in detail. Thank you.